Hello everyone. We have two legends of the sport here. We have Moe Fakhreddine, who's a two-division Brave champion, and we have Usama ElSaidy, who is a Gladiator FC champion, veteran and champion of Desert Force, and now who's going to challenge the belt for MEFC. Welcome, guys. It's good to have you here.
Thank you for the invitation.
Thank you for having us. It's an honor, sir.
So, you guys have both been in the sport for a long time, 12 and 13 years, right?
Yeah. I started fighting professionally in 2012.
And you started?
I started like 2011, my professional career in the MMA.
Great. And you guys both were veterans of Desert Force.
Yes, sir.
Which was like a very important organization as far as Middle Eastern MMA goes.
So it was number one organization, number one in the
was the only organization.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but also they had like a really good production and they were like really setting up a standard there.
Yeah, no doubt. They were the biggest. They was the only and then the biggest because during that time, well, there were still existed. A few organizations came out, but they didn't make it as big as Desert Force.
So how was it? Like, how was the experience of fighting those times in the Middle East?
It was a little bit experience because at the same time, not a lot of fighters, not a lot of club or gyms for MMA. I come from wrestling, my base is wrestling. Then I do jiu-jitsu. But now I think it's more fighters for MMA, more organization in the Middle East. I think now it's better, yeah.
Yeah. So Mo, how was your experience with that organization? How'd you get started?
To be honest, I thought it was like back in the days when the first UFC started, where it was most fighters, they were one-dimensional kind of a thing. They were either by kickboxing or boxing or wrestling or jiu-jitsu guys, like you said. And MMA in the Middle East wasn't a big thing. We were so new to that. And most guys, they were good at one sport only. And they would learn a little bit here and there just to get by, to be able to fight guys with different experiences. But yeah, I think it was a great experience. They gave great exposure to all the guys in the Middle East that fought in Desert Force. And I think it was a great experience for everybody.
Great, man. So then how did you guys transfer to other leagues and how was it like to fight in Brave? How was it like to fight in like Gladiator FC after Desert Force?
After Desert Force, I stopped maybe 4 years. I built my own business, my team. I fixed something in my life, but I come back like 21
yes.
to 21 with Brave. It's a good comeback fight. I think it's a knockout. Yeah, then I go to PFL and USA. Then I back to MFC, and now, inshallah, MFC title.
Nice.
Yeah.
How about you, man? How was the transition from?
It was great. I mean, Desert Force was great, but then they shut down in early 2016. And Brave came along and they contacted me, wanted me to be the first main event on Brave #1, which was an honor for me. I've been with Brave since I went and fought in a couple other organizations like PFL and 971 as well. I feel like Brave has been a home to me since then.
Yeah, and you're like very much loved and respected in Brave. Like, you're there.
I think it's not that they love me. I think they love my fighting style because I always go on and put on the show, and I go to war every time that I step in there. So I don't think they love me as a mate, but they love my fighting style.
Yeah, well, I'm sure they love you as a person as well because you
Maybe
have
not
that
so
for you.
much. Maybe not so much.
So you guys both, you are like multiple organizations, PFL like being the highest. So from like jumping organization to organization and then to PFL, then coming back. Do you see like a huge difference between those like organizations as far as how they treat fighters, how things go behind the scenes?
Honestly, I think if you want to come to platforms, I think PFL would be the biggest because it has bigger names in there. But when it comes to treating fighters, I think Brave would be #1. At least with my experience, they've taken care of me personally, and I think they treat fighters pretty well in there, and they respect them. But maybe they didn't give me enough respect at times where I wanted it from them or the way I wanted it from them, especially me being a double champion in there. I was the only guy to fight at 4 weight classes in Brave, and I think nobody else has done it in Brave. I fought at welterweight, middleweight, light heavyweight, and I fought in open weight tournament. which I was the only guy to fight that was signed with Brave at that time. So I still think they didn't give me the respect that I deserved in there. But other than that, I think they treat their fighters pretty well.
How about you, Osama? You had like Brave experience, then went to PFL, then came back. You're like a veteran of multiple organizations.
Yeah.
Gladiator FC and Desert Force. Like, how was your experience with PFL? Is it different than the other like Middle Eastern organizations?
My experience with Desert Force was amazing because it's a big promotion at that time. When I fight with Brave, it's amazing promotion and it's very professional. When I finish my fight, when I win my last fight in Brave, my manager talked to me, we want to go to PFL. I'm not interested to go PFL because I just come back. I need time. I need a more 2-3 fights in Brave or in Middle East. But he told me, you can fight in BFL. I like Brave than more BFL. I know BFL it's a big one, but Brave
feels like home.
Yeah, I feel like home. Yes. I also always go with the Moe to his fights, so I can see everything behind the cage. Mm-hmm. Everything it's professional. All people respect us. Very good promotion, very good people. But now I go to MEFC. MEFC really, I think I'm part of the promotion.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think the MEFC, they're great. They just need a little bit more time to develop, and I see them in the future doing great things. They just need a little bit more time and a little bit more experience. And I think what's not helping them is not having enough sponsors or a big budget in there.
Yeah, for sure.
Enough people to help them out. But other than that, I think they're doing a great thing, and in the near future, they will definitely be big in the Middle East.
And also, every event become more professional.
They become better.
Yeah, become better.
So it's a learning curve, just like fighters, organizations.
The guy that owns MEFC was or used to work with Desert Force. Mm-hmm. Like 2-3 years ago, he decided to open his organization. I think he's doing great things for now, but he definitely could be better. But like anybody else, when they first start, they make a lot of mistakes. But he's trying, and I see great things coming in the future for them.
Yeah, actually, last year, MEFC promotion number 1 for Arabic fighters. Mm-hmm. All the fighters in the MEFC, all Arabs fighters. So it's a good thing for the Middle East fighters.
They try to promote all the Middle Eastern fighters. They focus more on building Middle Eastern fighters instead of bringing foreign fighters and promote them like other organizations that's been in the Middle East.
Well, the names in there, so
yeah.
I would be surprised if they went any other way.
But they're really against the idea of bringing foreigners. Mm-hmm. They're not even willing to try. Desert Force, they had it was supposed to be a Middle Eastern promotion, but still they brought fighters, foreign fighters, and they had them fighting UAE Warriors. What the name is UAE Warriors, so you would think it's only Middle Eastern fighters, but yet again, most of their fighters are foreigners, and MEFC, they just willing to work with guys that have Middle Eastern nationalities. They're not even willing to work with any other nationalities.
It's good that somebody's investing in that region, because Middle East has to keep up with the rest of the world, and I think organizations like that would help them.
Indeed, they need to. Everybody needs to start somewhere, and they need to start building up their careers. And I think they're doing a great thing for the Middle Eastern fighters.
So your first fight in MEFC was a heavyweight. Now you're going at
no. It's was catchweight 98.
It was supposed to be a light heavyweight, and it ended up being a catch.
My opponent heavyweight, but I take the fight catchweight 98. Mm-hmm. But my opponent come to win 103, 102. Mm-hmm. I think fight day he 107 like this. But I accept the fight because I was 1 month in the Lebanon camp with Mo, with his team. So I can't come to the fight. They told me your opponent over 5 kilo. No, I don't want to fight. No, I fight. Yeah. If he 120, I'm ready.
So are you planning to fight other big guys in the future like that? Or stay in
ready.
Light heavyweight?
Light heavyweight.
Yeah. I think he'll stick light heavyweight.
Yeah. Because he could also get 2 belts like you.
Oh yeah, of course. He's a big guy. He can definitely get the light heavyweight and heavyweight. But I don't know. I always try to convince him to jump up and beat because there's already the champion in MEFC, and I know he can destroy him.
Mhm.
But I don't know why he's against the idea of jumping up to heavyweight and challenging the guy for the belt.
No, I don't like heavyweight.
Not
I like
everybody
my
can be
defender.
like you, sir.
Actually, I have one fight, me and Muhammad, and the title. He fights the guy in the
We fought the same guy.
same guy. He fight with him in the Brave. I fight with him in the GFC.
Nice.
Same. I'm fight with him in the title. He fight with him in the title.
So
Same.
you're kind of like MMA Eskimo brothers.
Yeah. He's like he fucked him up, and then he sent him my way, and I got to fuck him up too.
So man, you both jumped like different, had experience with different teams, different camps. First of all, what possessed you guys to come to Istanbul? This is not an MMA place. Right?
Rod-
But then,
You guys lost your minds or some shit?
no, okay, so
Money.
Yeah, I got $100 million by Coach Sivandi. He offered me a little bit. Of
Yeah.
money. He said, "Come to Turkey, we'll take care of you." And no, I'm bullshit. No, well, the truth is, Coach Zabandi's been, he was the reason why I'm here. We've been talking for a little while. I've met him like 2015, 2016, back at Brave. And then we've been in touch since then. He's like brother to me. And then we've been talking back and forth. We got him in contact with a few people that he needed to get in contact with. And he did the same with me. And then just lately when he found out that I'll be fighting for the title, he shot me a message, said, "Hey, you should be coming out here." At first I was a little bit worried, to be honest, because I wasn't sure about the training partners. Because I've been in different camps, and I know sometimes people in camps, they try to prove themselves, and they try to hurt you to show, to shine or take your spot in a way. But then when I found out who was in camp and who's in charge of camp and how camp is going to be, I asked him if I can bring my own guys as well. He said, "Yeah, of course. I gotta talk to my sponsor first, and then we'll see what happens." And then a few days after he got back to me, he was like, "All right, let's do it. You can bring you guys as well." It's been a blessing since then. We've been here for about 3-4 weeks now, and it's a great experience. So we love it out here. Before I flew out, I got in touch with him as well. I didn't know he was gonna fight till like a couple of weeks ago, and then last week I got a hold of him and like, "Bro, how about you just, I'll talk to the coaches here, and then come out here, help me out a little bit, and then at the same time you get ready for your fight, and then we'll see what happens from then, see if you like it or not." But I think it's a great camp, and we've been here at the last round, and it's been a great camp, and the coaches are super professional. Yourself, Coach Zavandi, everybody else in the team, they've been very helpful, and the hospitality is great out here in Turkey. I love it. I never thought I would love it as much as I do in Turkey, but I do.
How about you, Osama? You just flew in last night or the night before, so you barely had your footing here.
Yeah,
But how
that's
was your
that's a great
experience
camp.
with like other camps?
I come for 3 days.
Mhm.
3 days.
2-3 days ago.
Yeah, 2-3 days ago. Before I come to last round, I think when we go to fight, we back to Egypt or Lebanon, make another camp for my fight. But after 2 days here in the last round, I took to Moe. We wanna back after the fight. We back here again in the last round. It's a good camp, professional coaches. It's a good team. I'm very happy to be part of last round on the camp.
Thank you. How about
Thank you.
like other teams? Like you have, I know you've been training in Kuwait, but you're coming out of like Egypt. Have you ever traveled anywhere else to train? I know you trained with Moe in Lebanon.
Yes, sometimes I go to Egypt, make a camp, but it's more grappling, wrestling, and jiu-jitsu. When I make a camp for my fights, always with Moe. Sometimes we go to Thailand, sometimes to USA, like this.
How was like the Thailand experience as far as, you know, veteran fighters or like established people?
I think before 2016, 2015, last time I was there, it's a good experience. Many UFC fighters, professional fighters, but now it's more for
It's more for commercial.
yeah.
I think unless you have a big name, you don't get recognized there, and you don't get the respect that you deserve. So unless you're a UFC fighter or you have a big name like Israel Adesanya or Volkanovski or I don't know, any other fighter that has a big name, you can go in there and just be like another customer that walks in the gym. And you don't get the respect you deserve or the recognition that you deserve to get. You're in there, they'll give you a technique, and the coaches walks away. Most of the time, they don't pay much attention unless you fight in the UFC or a Bellator or like somewhere big. But other than that, when it comes to sparring partners, you got a lot of different sparring partners with a lot of different styles, so you can benefit from that on other hands. So it's a great experience, but I think camps, when you have a fight, should be focused a little bit more on you than other people. And yet again, because there's a lot of fighters on the mat, sometimes it's hard to focus on everybody. That's why they don't like spread all that attention about them, because they can't keep up with everybody else. So I think they just like spending time and you gotta gain your own experience from different fighters and not as much as from coaches.
So you've been like on the forefront, a trailblazer for your country, and you've been like a representative of MMA there. How about like the new generation you're bringing up? Like, how are you feeling about them? Like, how many people coming along as your team? And do you plan to do more coaching in the future?
Yes, of course. I've been doing coaching for the past 2 years, I think now, and I see a lot of talents in Lebanon. Not only in my team, but also in other teams. We got a few good talents that can be really good later on, and I think they're doing really great things when it comes to. I mainly have most of the guys that made medals outside of Lebanon in my team. Where I have Sylvie, she's already a gold medalist in Asia, and she's a bronze medalist in Asia. I have Moe Jr., my little nephew. He's a gold medalist and a silver medalist. I have Hadi, he's bronze medalist in the Worlds. I have Fadi Jabber, he's also a bronze medalist in Asia. I have a few other guys that got gold and silver and bronze in Asia, but those guys are still under 18. But yeah, I see a lot of good talents, and I see a lot of people that are gonna lift MMA in the Middle East, or I should say in Lebanon, in the near future. So hopefully the legacy won't die just on or won't be dependent on one person only. I think there's a lot of opportunities for these guys, especially with a lot of organizations that's been opening up in the Middle East. I think these guys are lucky to have the IMMAF as well, to get them that platform to perform and gain a lot of experience before they to jump to pro level, because in our days, we didn't have that platform where you get to fight a lot of amateur fights before you jump to professional. Most guys, they just jumped and started fighting professionally right away, instead of building themselves a little bit in amateur career and then move on to something bigger.
Osama, how about you? Are you doing any coaching on the side, or are you planning to do?
Already, I made coaching before 6-7 years from my team. I have a real team fighter. I was in the Gold Gym Academy. Now I have my academy. I have a lot of kids. I love it to train the kids. They're more adult, but I have also adult. I have like 2-3 professional fighters. And Kuwait, when your fighter, when your student become professional fighter, he leave. He wanna go to Thailand, go to Bali, USA. When he go to when he play like 2-3 professional fight, he see.
You become famous.
Yeah, he become famous.
Because there isn't a lot of professional fighters or MMA fighters in Kuwait. And I think he was you were the only one. Okay, so it was only 2 of them. So to be in Kuwait and to be a professional MMA fighter in the Middle East, he was a champion. It was a huge superstar.
Maximum in Kuwait, 2-3 fighters, 4 fighters professional only. When I start MMA, no gym for MMA. Everyone come from his base. I'm come from wrestling. Someone come from boxing. Someone from jiu-jitsu. I never have a team preparing for my fight with them. I'm always preparing for my fights alone. I was calling my big brothers. How can I do this one? How can I do this one? Just I have my big brother, my coach for the boxing, Coach Abdurrahman Bashir. After 2016, when I start Jiu-Jitsu, I have Coach Ahmed Kadmani. For Jiu-Jitsu, he's a great coach, a good team. But before, when I fight MMA fight, I don't have team. I'm always running alone, conditioning alone, everything alone. But now, when I prepare for my fight, I call Mo. Now I'm here in the last round, the big team.
So how does it feel like to have somebody, organize these things for you, tell you what to do, kind of like run your camp? Because you guys have been like doing this by yourselves for a long time. So you're used to that independence.
انه بكون احسن يعني بشيل الستريس والضغط من عليا كفايتر وبقدر ادي في التمرين اكتر يعني.
Yeah, he's saying it's like I said, it's a stress relief and it's taking a big weight off your shoulder where you don't have to worry about how you're gonna organize your camp or what are you gonna do today or what you're supposed to do tomorrow and all of that. You let someone else in charge and they lead the way and you just kind of follow and you take a lot of weight off your shoulder. This way you're a little bit more relaxed about training and it's I think it's also super beneficial because a lot of times when you're trying to do something, sometimes you're used to bad habits and you don't see what you're doing in camps. But then when someone else is watching, they get to pick up on a lot of things that you're doing wrong and they tell you like you need to fix this, you need to fix this, you need to fix this, or you can do this different ways and it's super beneficial to have someone else to take care or be in charge of your camp and just being there like yourself and of course the Vandy that's been in charge for the camp. It's been super beneficial and it's been a great experience.
It's great, man. So how about like you are both have been helping the young generation and like MMA in Middle East have been also growing like exponentially. What would you advise to the young and up and coming fighters, like new pro fighters or like amateur fighters who are like planning to turn pro? Like what would you advise them to do as far as life training?
I would say in life, always be humble. You got to be willing to accept that we're not all great, even though if you think you are great, it doesn't matter how great you think you are, there's always a place for learning more. There's always a place where you're making mistakes and sometimes you just gotta sit back, relax and let somebody else be in charge and take care of things that needs to be taken care of, especially when it comes to training and especially when it comes to experience, because you gotta give that to a coach. You always gotta have, you should always have a coach that's gonna be in charge of your trainings. There's always someone that's more experienced than you and that knows more than you, and you should always be humble and be accepting. Should listen a little bit more, because nowadays everybody goes on social media and they see like this guy is doing this and this guy is doing that and they want to copy what they're doing, especially after Conor McGregor came out and he's the bad guy and everybody started doing the same thing. Where in reality, okay, sometimes you need to do that to gain a little bit more exposure for the media and stuff like that, but it's not all about that. Sometimes you can be respectful and you don't have to disrespect other people to gain the respect that you deserve to get. I think comes to fighting, you can prove that in the cage when you fight and how you fight, and you can gain respect by doing that. If you're gonna go in there and you're gonna be an exciting fighter and you're gonna be a fighter that comes to fight every time and not willing just to hold your opponents down or and give a show to the people, I think they'll respect you a little bit more than when you talk outside a lot, but then when you come inside, you don't give them the performance or the show they want to come. Because at the end of the day, it's an entertainment show. I know it's a fighting game, but again, everybody watches it because they get entertained. This is what we are. We're entertainers, that we entertain people. I think if you always give the people what they want, I think they'll respect you a little bit more than when you're talking a lot of smack behind the scene and you don't get to deliver what you say you're going to deliver in the cage.
There are a lot of up and coming fighters, especially in the Middle East. So was as an established fighter, as a successful fighter, what would you recommend them as far as training, life, attitude?
Focus on your exercising, focus on your goal, be humble, don't follow the socialize too much. Be a real fighter.
Also, they need to be a little bit loyal. They need to learn a little bit more about loyalty, because a lot of these young guns, they always think, oh, I got to do what's best for me, and they don't even look at what's best for the team. Let's be honest, if you don't have a team, you don't even exist.
For sure.
Yeah.
You always gotta have people to have your back. I mean, if you're not loyal to those people, I don't think you could be there for a certain amount of time, and they'll have your back for a certain amount of time till they get fed up with your shit, and then after that you'll be gone. Like personally, I had to deal with a few people where I had to keep professional fighters mainly, where I had to kick them out of the gym because they were too selfish when it comes to being a team player. They only had me team kind of a thing where there's only them in the gym. They only came in to train when they had a fight, and they were only looking after their own beneficials. And sometimes it doesn't work out that way. You need to be part of the team. You need to help other guys succeed in order for you to succeed. If you're not helping other people around you elevate, you'll only get so far, and your game will stay at that level. Because if I'm not helping, let's say Osama is better than me, if he's not helping me get better in the gym and he's not telling me what I'm doing wrong, I'm never going to be able to help him jump on to the next step and be at a higher level. And most of these guys, they just come in the gym and they look to beat up everybody and not willing to give a little bit of their experience about what other training partners are doing wrong, and they're not willing to give out advices and help other people get better because they're scared they're going to take their spots. It's not about taking the spot. It's about helping your training partners get better in order for you to get better, because one hand's don't clap.
Yeah.
You always need two hands to clap. And unfortunately, this fight game, as much as individual sport where you only fight by yourself, but if you don't have the right team behind you and the right training partners behind you in training, you're never going to get anywhere.
Yeah. You both have been there are very few good men in this business, and you both have been we know you for a while now, Mo, and you've been really pleasant to be around. But Osama, ever since you've been here, you were quiet, but also very pleasant to be around too. You guys are real nice people. But when we see you in the cage, it's just the opposite. It's very intense. It's very intimidating. Especially you, Mo, very scary to be around once you're inside the cage. So how do you make that transition? How do you make those two different people coexist?
If you have a mental fight, you can make a good balance about your personality out the cage, inside the cage. It's a mindset.
Yeah, he's saying that you got to know how to balance yourself and know how to separate yourself from being a fighter and from being a normal person. Because a lot of the fighters, they tend to take that personality in the cage and try to make it a living or the way of living for them outside of the cage, which I think is a big mistake, because you always got to learn how to balance yourself, like he said, and know when to be a fighter and when to be a normal human being. And I think because he's a family man, I'm a family man, we're a family man, and a lot of fighters are family people as well. They can't be treating their family, their kids, and their loved ones the same way they treat their opponents in the cage. And when it comes to me personally, I am as vicious as I am in the cage. Maybe because it was the way I was raised and the neighborhood that I lived in. I think that has a big impact on my personality and my character kind of thing, because I've lived in the ghetto neighborhood where you had to fight every day pretty much, and you had to gain your respect in order for you to walk on the streets with your head high and nobody messes with you. But at the same time, you come home and you can't have that personality inside the house because my dad he used to beat the shit out of me sometimes for having a bad attitude in the house, and which I am grateful for him. I would never say anything bad about my father, not because I'm scared of him, because I respect him so much, because he's the man that taught me a lot about life and taught me about how to be a normal human being and how to be a family man as well. And he sacrificed a lot from his life in order for him to bring out. We're a big family, four boys and 2 girls. He sacrificed a lot in order for us to become who we are in the family. I'm forever grateful to him for that. I think he had a big role playing in how I became where I am and in my personality, how I became, my character and my charisma and everything else. He had a big role in playing in that as well.
Nice. So you guys have you have roughly 4 weeks for a fight, and you have roughly 4 days, even 3 days for a fight. So what's the countdown like? What's the fight day like? Like, do you have any rituals that you do? Like anything that you want to have done?
For me, I know it's about focusing about weight cut, making a weight, and I try not to think too much about the fight before the fight till the seconds that I'm walking out, and then it's only the dark side where it comes out, where I know right now I'm going to war, and it's going to be a matter of, I don't want to say kill, but it's pretty much kill the guy or be killed in there. Because my fighting style is about live by the sword, die by the sword. Yeah, I try not to think too much about the fight because I kind of don't like the personality that comes out behind those thoughts. I get dark sometimes and I don't like that kind of side. So I try not to think too much about the fight before the fight till it's fight time.
How about you?
About me, and until now I have 2 fights. Fight Moe, it's the first fight for me. Inshallah, when he win, I'm okay. I won my for sure. I won my second fight. Just I wanna cut my weight, and everything is okay. Inshallah.
Okay. So you've never lost your title, and you have now. There's another champion. Do you think he is underestimating you in any way? Because you've been in the game for long, but for some people that's past, and he hasn't seen you lose, but also he sees himself as you. He wants to recreate your legacy.
This is what he's trying to do. He's trying to recreate my legacy, where after I had to vacate my light heavyweight title and the middleweight title, he went on to become the light heavyweight champion, and now he's trying to take my legacy, but by becoming a 2-division champion. But the way I look at it and the way I see it, I'm not going to let anybody do that, at least at my weight classes, while I am still fighting, even if it means that I'm going to have to either kill him or die in the cage. I am willing to do that. I am willing to actually kill someone in the cage or die in the cage in order to prevent that from happening. And comes June 7th, this is what's going to happen. I'm either going to have to kill him in there, or he's going to have to kill me, which is going to be hard to do either way. But whatever the outcome of the fight, he's not going to be walking out of there on 2 feet and not being damaged. He's going to get a lot of damage in that fight because I'm going to be in his face the whole 25 minutes, whether I'm getting hit or whether I'm hitting him. I'm going in there to full war. I'm going in there to do a lot of damage, and I'm going in there for war. So good luck to him, and I hope he's underestimating me, because then it's going to be a short night for him.
How about you, man? What about your fight? Like, you gonna challenge the title, or like you gonna go for the title on a new organization? You've already been in champion in 2. So how do you feel like your opponent?
About my fight, I don't think about I lose the belt. I see myself holding the belt. Now, when I go to the cage, win my fight or die in the cage, I never give up. I stop 5 years and come back to fight. Like, I fight every day. I respect my opponent, but same time, I don't care. I fight with who. I'm always focusing my goal, focus with my belt. Inshallah, for sure, 100%, I get the belt.
Nice.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Almost go time, and all the hard work is done.
Yeah.
Fortunately for him, he's still gonna have to go
he's
through
still
it
getting he's getting started. He has
weeks. And it's almost time to have fun. This is what we do. This is why we train hard all that time before the fight. So in the fight, we can just go in there and enjoy ourselves. and I hope it's going to be like that for a lot of people as well.
And while you were around, so we had another champion, a UAE Warriors champion in the camp, Amir Fazli.
Yes, sir.
So how was training with him?
He's a great guy. I love the guy. He's like a brother to me, but I think he's got to take it easy a little bit, where he's only go, and I know Coach Zaveni loves the drama, so I'm going to bring it out a little bit.
Yeah.
He needs to be talked to. I don't know how you're going to get through his thick skull, but someone has to maybe dig a hole to get in there and just let him know that it's not always about hard work, and sometimes it's about being smart in camp as well, not just, it's not all about going hard all the time. Sometimes you got to be smart, and you got to know when to go hard, when to take it easy. And this guy knows nothing about taking it easy, but at the same time, a lot of people would appreciate that. I personally appreciate it, but for his own beneficial, I think sometimes he needs to just take a step back, take his foot off the gas, and just know how to relax a little bit. But other than that, the guy is great. I love him. He's got tons of experience in Sanda, Wushu Sanda. And he's also, like we said, he's a UAE middleweight champion. And also he didn't lose his belt. He just went on to fight in PFL. I personally think his big weight cut in his last experience was his biggest downfall. He didn't get to fight the way he should, or the way I know he can fight, because I know he's a great fighter and he's got a big potential, but I think the weight cut that he did was a little bit too much, and he needs to focus a little bit on starting to cut weight from now till fight time, and he needs to take his foot a little bit off the gas so he can get going when he needs to get going, and just step back and relax when he needs to step back and relax.
So, as far as like your camp, what was your least favorite like sparring partner or training partner?
I'll say Hadi. Hadi knows he's my favorite. Everybody has been super helpful, and they pushed me the right way. Everybody was looking after what's best or what's beneficial for me and pushing me the right ways, where nobody was trying to hurt me in camp this time. Of course, nobody goes to a fight 100%, and you always gotta have a lot of hiccups here and there, but I would say this is by far my healthiest fight camp, and we're ready to have fun.
Good. How about you, man? Like, you were here not a lot of time, and we just had like 2 sessions in this room. 3 sessions, right?
Yeah, 4 sessions.
Yeah. So far, you have a favorite partner, not so favorite partner, somebody who gets on your nerves.
Until now, I can't fight anyone because I'm 2-3 days. I don't sleep. Yesterday in the sparring,
Which I think he hated me for making him go 5 rounds.
yeah, Hadi's she's killing me in the first round. But he's my boy. I don't care. Maybe sometimes I kill him.
Hadi's got a lot of potential, to be honest, and I think later on he's gonna have great opportunities and great potential. But again, he's one of the guys that needs to take his foot off the gas a little bit and know when to go hard, when not. Because this guy knows nothing about taking it easy as well. Like you get to draw with him and he's going 100%. You get to fight with him, you get to spar with him and he's going 100%. So he's another guy like Amir. He needs to just relax a little bit. But other than that, I think for his experience, he's got a lot of potential and he's great for a partner. I know yesterday he pushed him a little bit too hard in the training, and he was hating on everybody where he was like, I want to kill you, but yeah, he pushed on for 4 or 5 rounds, and he finished his sparring session which he did exactly what he was supposed to do, and I have no doubt he's going to go in the cage and do exactly the same thing. He's going to go in there, and I think he's going to finish the guy.
Like, we're going to be spectators, and hopefully you'll come back here with your belt, man.
Yes, sir. Inshallah.
So you guys have been both you had career you still have a career, you go into coaching. Ever plan on like completing the trifecta with like also managing people?
Managing, no.
No?
No.
I don't know. Well,
You're too nice of a guy to be a manager.
I've had a few guys asking me if I want to manage them,
Mm-hmm.
but to be honest, right now it's not on my mind. Maybe after I retire, maybe we'll have to take a step back and think about it and talk to my manager at SMP and see if that would work with me, because I'm a little bit hard to deal with. Especially when it comes to my fighters, where I'm super overprotective on their fights and super picky with their fights. I want them to win, and I want them to get to a point where they can take risks with big fights and not just throw them as much as organizations would love it. Because most organizations, all they want fighters sometimes to just fill in the spot. And I'm 100% against that. If I want to get a fight from a fighter, I have to know that it's going to be at least 70-30 chance where he's going to win, or 60-40 chance where he's going to win, at least for the first 10 fights. And I think I'm going to have a hard time dealing with promoters and organizations to get that. But I probably won't have to worry about that for another, at least. I'm 41. I'm gonna be 41 next month, so I'm probably not gonna retire till 45. I'm aiming for that. But if I end up for whatever reason retiring before that time, so I'm probably not gonna have to worry about taking those choices maybe for another 3 or 4 years. Till then, the promoters and organizations are safe
from you. How about like you? You guys have been under SMP.
Yes.
And how's your experience and how's your relationship with SMP? How they're treating you?
It's a great experience, to be honest. I've known Usama for a little while, and I've known him way before he started with the SMP managing. He used to coach his fighters. He was a coach before starting the managing business. And I've known he's helped a lot of people in the business. He used to manage fighter without managing them, just helping them out. He would give them opportunities and getting them opportunities, whether it's sponsors, opportunities to fight, opportunities to sign with organizations and everything else. My experience with them has been great. There's nothing that I can complain about. They got me this opportunity to fight for the title now, which I thought would be almost nearly impossible because of my age and because I had to vacate the belts as well in Brave, so I thought it would be a little bit hard at least to do, but he managed to give me that opportunity. He managed to get me in there fighting for the title again, and I know he's been signing a lot of fighters, a lot of talents right now, and my experience with him has been great so far. Also suggesting him as a management company for a lot of fighters. I don't know whether they sign with him right now, but I think it would be great to be working with Usama, because he really cares about the fighters and not just some other companies where they just throw fighters and to get the money. I know most people, some people at least that I know of, he doesn't even take percentage from them. He just does it because he likes to beat those guys or those people, where he's just trying to help them out. But yet again, until you get on that good side, it probably takes you a little while. Yeah. So I'm not saying that guys should be signing with him for that reason, but yeah, if you get to that point where he's not going to be taking his percentage, which is I think is his right 100%, because he's working on getting you contracts, he's working on getting you to big organizations, and he's got a lot of good connection with UAE Warriors. He's got connection with Brave, MEFC, 971, PFL, all those organizations in the Middle East. He's got some connection in UFC as well, and ours, I think, in France, I believe, or Europe at least. He's got good connections, so he's been doing great things for the management of the company.
Great. So, Have you, like, they've been signing new people, also, like, new talents, like, coming up all over Middle East. And is there any young talent that you like to watch? You say people to look out for. That's not from your team, but from, like, Middle East.
I couldn't pick up on names because he's been signing a lot of names, and to be honest, I'm not really good with names and remembering names. But when I see a post and I see fighters signing with them, I always try to look them up and see where they at and how good they are. And I see a lot of good talent that he's been signing, and those guys can do great things in the near future.
How about you, Osama? You following, like, young people, young talent who are coming up?
Already we have young fighters. It's very talented, very good fighters. But I know all the fighter when I see his face, but I don't remember his name. You know?
I think when you come close to 40, you start having names and you start forgetting things, which I think the fighting game and getting hit in the head helps a little bit with that as well.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that is the reason, but at least it's an excuse that you can use.
No, because you're always preparing for your fights. You're coaching for your studying. We're always busy, not like who's stay with the event, see all the fighters. No. When you have time, you can remember all the names. But when you don't have time, you're always busy, like us, preparing for a fight, coaching. You don't have time. But
That's
when
why
you see the
Coach Zan
fight,
knows, like, all the names, because he doesn't work at all and he always have free time.
I don't know if he does remember all the names. Do you, Coach?
He's the Rain Man.
I'm definitely not the Rain Man, but I do remember names because I think you guys have been hit too much. I haven't been hit enough. That might be it. And he's just really bad with dates, time, reality, or anything that has to do with facts. So he forgets things. But no, I do watch fights still, and it's part of my job, right? As a coach and also a manager, I got to do that. So I think once you guys start managing, it's something you have to do. You don't have to do it right now. So what do you, I mean, it's not.
I also use, other than getting punched in the head, I use the excuse of the vaccine, where they say that it gives you a bad memory, and I took my vaccine.
I took the vaccine too. I had to fly.
Okay, so it's well, at least it's an excuse that you could try to use sometimes.
I think, again, it's because you guys are not conniving. You guys are not cunning. You guys are good people. You guys just had a 2-hour conversation about leaving your ego out the gym, essentially.
Yeah.
Which is like the opposite. Come on, boys, let's be honest. If Moe Fakhreddine doesn't have an ego, can he really be Moe Fakhreddine? Can he? Can he be the guy that goes in there and smashes fools? Can he? No. You just know how to control your ego.
He makes that transition. He makes that transition.
Listen, don't talk about transitions. That's not allowed here. I know we got the purple in the background, but we don't talk about transitions here. This is a very Islamic show. A very Islamic country. We don't talk about no transitions. You guys are 3 of the most not only knowledgeable but kindest people I know in the sport. I just got to know obviously Usama, but he's a gentle giant. He's like a giant teddy bear, that could rip your head off. But you guys are leaving something out, and I want you guys to be a little bit more honest. I didn't want to chime in. I didn't want to ruin the kumbaya you guys were having together, talking about how everything has to be pretty and fun and everyone has to hold hands and be friends and families and
we're
things
being
like
honest
that.
out here. At least I am from my own side. I'm just saying things how it is, and this is sometimes it's my highest point and my lowest point and my downfall as well, because people don't always appreciate the truth. And I think I try to always say what I think out loud, because I think it's the easiest way to getting your ideas out there and getting what you want to say out there, where instead of just going in alleys and try to explain what you want to say, I just...
Straight to the point.
Yeah, straight to the point. It's a lot easier.
Yeah, no, I agree. Straight to the point. It should be like that every single time. But we talked about it on the mats today. You got to be more selfish. Usama's got to be more selfish. And you guys carry so much on your backs, whether it's your team, your family, your friends. But on the mats, that kind of goes away, right? We got to put that away, and we got to be a little bit more selfish. So we got to be a little more bad, at least. You guys are genuinely good people, and obviously Egemen is the same thing. But let's shift gears here. I have a question actually for all of you guys. I want Egemen's idea of this as well. We had Brazil dominate MMA for quite a while when MMA first, had its inception. Then it was America. well, not America, but people who trained solely in America. Now we see a shift, and Russia has had some say for sure. If they're not the most dominant, they have the numbers. Who's next? Which country is going to come out as one of the leaders?
I think like US, as far as training, will always be a dominant place. But as far as ethnicity or where those fighters in the US will come from, I think the next generation or like next big gold mine would be Russian speaking but non-Russian country.
They're all the same people. Come on now. You're gonna separate
You've got
Kazakhstan from Uzbekistan?
squinty-eyed Russian speakers, and you have Muslim Russian speakers.
No, the Middle East is the Middle East.
Like
No.
non-Russian speakers.
No,
They're not the same.
Same people.
They
Middle
are.
East is Middle East.
Technically speaking, they are.
Middle East is Middle East.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Russia is Russia, and so is Kazakhstan. Those are all Russian countries. All of them at the end of the day get up and go to Moscow or Dagestan or Chechnya. That's what's going to happen. So give us a country, don't play it so safe. That's a very safe bet that the Russian speakers who do Russian things are going to do Russian
But
things.
it's going to be like mainly non-like white Russians. Like
so what?
Muslim Russia.
Like Turkmenistan
Dagestan.
is going to jump in?
Turkmenistan might jump in. I'm expecting Kyrgyzstan and Tajikistan before Turkmenistan. And
okay.
I think
So do you think they're going to be the next people? Because they have like 2 fighters combined.
that's why they're going to be the next people, not now people.
No, dominant. Next dominant group.
Next
the next
dominant group.
Okay, so
I
Tajikistan,
think the Dagestanis are going to be taken over for a long time.
Okay, well, let's say they don't, because, mustaches are cool. Look, Coach Egemen only has a
Yeah.
mustache. He's got the beard rocking, but mustaches are cool, and they're anti-mustache. So let's keep away from the... We're trying to get the Middle East involved, boys, and you guys are talking about how the Russians are going to keep dominating. Come on.
Okay, well, to
Read
be
the room.
honest,
I know you're forwarding us towards
Okay.
that, but
my point of view, or at least the way I look at it, till people starts working together in the Middle East and trying to help each other, because there's a lot of politics in the Middle East when it comes to the gyms, and where if you train at this gym, you can't train at that gym, and people are afraid to exchange experiences for some reason. And I think till everybody comes together and starts working in one hand, I think we still need a long time for Middle East to be on that
I agree.
side.
I don't think it's the Middle East.
Yeah.
I don't think the Middle East gets fixed. And I'll tell you this way. The Middle East's biggest problem, whether it's politically or MMA, is not coming together.
True.
If at any point they came together, they're a powerhouse. They have resources, they have the numbers, they have what it takes. Whether it's politically we're talking about or whether it's MMA based. Let's get Osama's and then I'll tell you mine. And obviously I'm going to be right because I already know the answer. But I'm just trying to make myself look smart on this. But go ahead, Osama.
Russia, for sure.
Russia. See? Everybody goes with Russia. Russia's
sure.
already dominating. But they're going to dominate some more? I
Ну,
think
كان
Russia's
أول شيء
falling.
برازيل
personally.
بعدين أمريكا بعدين
And Russian speakers too. I think they're falling too. I don't think Tajikistan has built anyone. They have 2 fighters.
I think they're gonna come strong with this one. But like the place to be will be the States. Like
That's
as far
always-
as training
that's
is
always
gonna
been.
be the States, but it's gonna be like you're gonna need a group of people that have like cultural fighters. So fighting is culturally important to them. That's why Middle East often fails because like
You just
they're,
answered
like,
the question, though.
individuals.
You
What?
just answered the question. It's the Irish. They love fighting. Their numbers are huge now. We got Paul Hughes, Ian Gary, John Mitchell. These guys are talented, and they're winning like multiple amateur championships. If you notice, the Irish are coming. Whether you like it or not, the Irish are coming. They're such a small nation, but they're a fighting nation. They've had it for a very, very long time. They have some resources. They can travel. You go to Dubai, and a quarter of the good fighters are Irish.
But yet again, if you want to talk about fighting people, I think the Middle East there would be top because
You think so?
Oh yeah, of course.
Really?
The way we live and the way what we've been going through, I don't think any other countries has gone through. We've been fighting the world when it comes to wars, and then we don't live the most comfortable lives that we live and that you could be living in. We don't have opportunities like other nationalities do. But yet again, there's a lot of talents that's up and coming right now, and I think yet again, like you said, it's all about opportunities. I think if those up and coming fighters they they get the opportunities where they can travel and train properly under the right coaches and all of that, I think they can take over.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
Yes, of course.
Moe Fakhreddine gets a job offer to Ireland to coach a team.
Yeah.
Okay, or Iran. Where do you go? It's not even a question. The question was answered before I asked you. You go to Ireland. It's a functional country where you're going to get paid. So
To be honest, no, I'd rather stick around
well, you just
where
want
I
to see
am
most
now.
of them Amir Fazli. That's about it.
No. Maybe I'm a little bit more patriot where I want my guys to succeed like coach.
Yeah.
And I want to see the MMA because I know we have a lot of talents and I know they got a lot of heart and they come in to fight. A lot of these fighters are not trying to look pretty and they go in there to have a war because they've been living that kind of lifestyle for a long time and they're not afraid to fight. On the other hand, a lot of fighters, they go in there to look pretty and do art. They're not in there to have wars. In my personal opinion, at least, I see Middle East could be on that list next if we get the right coaching staff and the right opportunities.
So you think there's potential, but you wouldn't bet on it, right?
I would bet my life on it if there is the right coaching, yes.
So you would bet your life if every factor is correct that the Middle East can do well. Yes, I absolutely agree.
Because
there's a lot of talented guys there.
Look if you're talking about Irish or Ireland.
Yeah.
They have every opportunity
Absolutely,
to help them, whether it's the coaching staff or whether it's life, the way life is going for them and the lifestyle and everything else, right? So my point of view is if we can get the same opportunities when it comes to training, facilities, experience and all of that, you get a bunch of good guys from the Middle East.
Absolutely, I agree. But are we going to get that? No one's going to invest in the Middle East until the Middle East invests in itself. And that's something you're doing. So you're a patriot. Egemen, on the other hand, patriot. Same thing with Osama. You guys actually have the opportunity to go somewhere else. You can go to the States. You can go to Europe. You can go to a lot of good places. But you guys are digging your feet in, making yourself suffer and really investing your time, your resources to build this. And that's what makes you patriotic and makes you good people. And the generation after you is going to build on your shoulders. But how many people are willing to do that? I start handing out American passports.
Now, let me ask you a question. What are you doing in Turkey? Why are you in Turkey?
This is a business opportunity.
Other than business.
Yeah, this is business.
Other than business. I think you see
listen,
great...
I bear no flag.
My
flag is green in color and has a dollar
we
sign
all
in the
do,
middle.
brother. But I think you see a lot of great talent here.
In Turkey?
In the Middle East in general. Because in my opinion, Turkey is in the Middle East. It's not in Europe.
I agree. There's a lot of opportunity in the Middle East. Why? Because Usama, for example, hasn't had the best guys coach him.
Exactly.
So what happens when Usama has someone who can actually coach him? Now Usama's going to level up much quicker, right?
True.
Same thing with Moe Fakhreddine or Amir Fazli or Mohsen Saifi or whomever you want to say. So this is an opportunity for me to come in and do a job that is easy
nobody else is willing to do.
Nobody else is willing to do. Exactly. So for me, it's a great opportunity. But
so
you need 100 of me, 200 of me, 1,000 of me.
Not necessarily. If you spread in your experience out there and you showing people the right path, I think a lot of people like yourself, they would be more willing to come out here and do the same thing as you do. Because there's a lot of good people like you, even though sometimes you tend to be a bully.
No, it's not good. I'm not good. I'm not trying to be good.
But
don't
inside you're a great person.
I'm not trying to be good.
No, I know. You're a good person trying to be bad.
No, I'm a bad person trying to be good.
I think you're not giving yourself enough credit right here. I think you're a good person trying to be bad most of the time because you need to be that way in training. Because if you don't become that person and you don't bring that personality out, training sessions and the gym is going to be out of control and everybody else in the gym is going to be fucking insane. So you need to be that kind of person in order for you to handle the gym and the team and that kind of business. Because I have to do the same thing sometimes in my gym where I have to be the biggest dick and I have to be
call me a biggest dick, by the way.
I have to be an asshole where I have to just
calls me an asshole on my own podcast.
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about myself.
You're just throwing shit.
No. I say I have to be. I'm not saying you. So yeah, if you want to do that, I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of other people will be willing in the near future. I know you're making a living out of this, but still, because you see a lot of talent and you believe in this, this is why you are here, and you're helping everybody else like myself, like Osama, like Amir Fezli, like Mohsin, hopefully will be coming in the next couple of weeks, and all these young amateurs, up and coming fighters that I see a lot of great talent in this room every day. And yourself, Coach Egemen, you're doing a great thing, and I think if you keep doing the same thing, and more coaches are going to be seeing that there is talent, they'll be willing to give it a shot, and they'll be willing to give it a try, and they'll most likely come out here. And once we have that kind of opportunity when it comes to coaching and the getting that idea, okay, Middle East is maybe not as bad as everybody else says, and then a lot more coaching are going to come in. We're going to have more opportunities when it comes to fighting.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, because I thought Dubai was going to be like this. I thought when I went to Dubai for the first time that, hey, there is money, there is resources, and there is talented Middle Eastern fighters. There are a lot of talented fighters in the Middle East that just haven't been schooled well or given the correct opportunities at the correct times.
Indeed.
But Dubai is a free-for-all. It's a wild land. It's like the gold rush. People go in there, they stake their claim, they dig up their gold, put it in their pocket, and then bang, back to their home country. Which makes sense. I get it. I love money more than the next guy, so I understand. When I came to Turkey first, I had zero desire to do MMA. Like, Turks are not known for athletics in most sports. They're just not, okay? They're not European enough, and they're not Middle Eastern enough. So they're kind of in the borderline, which actually works really well for MMA. Turkey's still a functional country. There's still so much to be had. Yeah, the economy is a little not great, but it's much more stable than most, of the Middle East. Not counting Saudi, not counting the Emirates. But over there, everything's fake. At least Turkey, you can still do something. And when I saw the opportunity with, knowing you for a while and knowing Amir and all these guys, I thought that this could be a good base for what Thailand is now and what Tiger Muay Thai was back in the day. You go to Thailand, there's no Thai fighters.
Sure.
There's zero Thai MMA fighters. They don't exist. They're still Muay Thai. Same thing. I don't think Turkey's going to have an influx of Turks that do MMA. You might have the 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 that are really good, but you're not going to get mass numbers. What you are going to get is a ton of foreigners who can come here. It's still relatively cheap, thanks to Coach Egemen. Like, if it wasn't for him, this project is not even possible. Yeah. We wouldn't be sitting here. Usama wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be having this conversation. But I think here can be what Tiger Muay Thai was back in the day to a smaller extent. And that's good enough. For the Middle East, that's good enough. That's what me and Usama have been talking about, right? Making this SMP's headquarters, where guys can come in, do their training camp. We can all work together.
Which mainly of them are Middle Easterns.
They're all Middle Easterns, essentially. Exactly. Essentially, all Middle Easterners. There's talent. Don't get upset.
So again,
I like white people. That's what it is. Maybe
it doesn't matter if you're white, brown, or black, or it doesn't matter. I'm not talking about
cameras are not looking, but he's actually doing the salute right now.
Maybe I like
so
white
because
people.
You see talent,
I see.
You jumped on board.
No, I didn't see talent.
You just said it yourself.
No, talent didn't exist here. Coach, was there talent here when I came here?
What level talent you talking
Talent
about?
to make money.
Well, we were still way behind making money.
So, didn't exist.
There was like promising
but
kids.
I'm pretty sure they're not only doing it for the money.
There was some really good kids with a lot of promise.
Yes.
Some really good kids with promise. But it wasn't like I came here and I thought, this could be monetized. No, it wasn't. It was once I spoke to Coach Egemen and I said, hey, listen, you open your doors, we bring in talent, we can do this. And obviously, each one of us has a different reason why we're in MMA. I'm a small dude, can't really fight, so I like to bully fighters and make myself feel good about myself. That's what I do. Egemen has his own thing, you have your own thing, Usama has his own thing. This place can be big, it can. But not because of Turkey or Turkish fighters, not because of Lebanese fighters, not because of Iranian fighters, because of a united front of Middle Eastern fighters. And that is what SMP is to me.
So yet again.
But if I could do this in Ireland, if some rich motherfucker said, hey, listen, here's $1 jigillion.
Nobody's going to offer any kind of coach that kind of money, coach. Come on.
Listen, what he's investing here for Turkey standards is $1 jigillion. The money he's hemorrhaging, love you, man. The money he's hemorrhaging to put this project together, if you made that in euros, I'd be swimming. I wouldn't even take my backpack. I'll put my dog on my head. I'm freaking start swimming because that's a ton of money. He's paying a lot of money for this project to go forward, and thankfully, till now, it's actually gone forward. And it's because of
Hopefully
you guys.
it's gonna get
Honestly, it's
bigger
because of
and
you guys. It's because of you. It's because of Osama. It's because of Amir. It will be because of Mohsen, Bakhtavar, all these guys, and the kids before. Like if the kids before were not here, these doors wouldn't have existed when I came here.
Yeah.
So it's a group effort.
Yeah.
But the Irish are coming and we're all fucked. Let's just
But
be
yet
honest.
again,
Those Irish.
I think
Those Irish.
deep
Paul
down,
Hughes,
you know,
please.
we
Paul
could
Hughes,
be the
please.
next big
Please,
thing,
Paul
and
Hughes,
that
come.
is one of the reasons why.
Irish are too rich. They earn too much in euros and spend too much in euros to be in MMA for like masses.
Paul Hughes, listen, you're hearing this out. I'm a fan. Come over here.
Oh, he's definitely a great fighter. I'm not saying he's not, but I think the next big thing, if we have the right coaching, will be the Middle East.
I hope so. I hope so because you know then I'm gonna start flying the whichever flag. I sell my soul. Whichever flag you boys want, the Lebanese flag, that Iranian ugly flag, you know, the Turkish flag with the Islamist state on it. Whatever you guys want, I'll fly whichever flag. Whichever flag pays me the most, I'll grab both my passports and throw them out.
Coach, I think deep down you're a good person. You're just trying to hide that for some reason.
I'm a great person to my dog, honest to God. I'm a great person to my girlfriend. Too good, clearly. But in this sport, you can't be a good guy. There's no room for good guys. There isn't. There's a room for a good guy named Moe Fakhreddine, but that's because you're Moe Fakhreddine.
But you're doing a
hold
great
that belt.
thing. By doing great things, you are a great guy. That makes you a great guy. It's about the things that you do that makes you the guy that you are.
So
It's
actions.
Yes, it's the actions that
intent.
makes. Yeah, you can pretend to be someone else, which sometimes you have to be. But it's about what kind of things that you offer and what kind of things that you deliver, what makes you a great guy.
So let's ask a philosophical question here. I know Coach Egemen really believes in philosophy, even though it's nonsense and it's like psychology's retarded brother. Let's
Like,
ask
for
you a question.
example, if Coach wasn't so great and he wasn't willing to open this place and helping all these fighters and helping us come out here and covering everything else and all of that, would that make him a great guy? If he wasn't willing to do all that, would that make him a great guy?
So like, I do everything I do because of my selfish desire to have.
I kind of
money.
highly doubt that right now. You're kind of hiding behind the shades a little.
Listen, I'm hiding behind the shades because I'm not important. You're the
I
fighter.
think your job is very important, just
You're
like
fighting,
his. And
dude. You're fighting. I'm gonna be standing there telling you punch right, punch left.
like you said,
a kick.
there's people that use their brains and there's people that use their fists. It happens that you're one of the it happens to be that you guys are the people that use their brains, and we happen to be the guys that use their fists.
Okay, so we had a nice conversation, and we are ending our first episode with two established fighters and legends in Middle Eastern scene, which is Moe Fakhreddine and Usama ElSaidy. I'm gonna remember it before this week is out. ElSaidy. And thank you very much, guys, for joining us. And thank you very much, guys, for your time and your thoughts and your opinions on this project. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you for having us. It's been an honor. And I'm glad you didn't even try to pronounce my last name because you would have completely fucked it up.
Moe Fakhreddine.
No, it's Fakhreddine.
Fakhreddine.
You see, you know,
It's the old Arab. Fakhreddine.
yes, there you go.
See, I can do it. I can be a Middle Eastern when I want to.
Oh, man.
And we have Coach Zavandi here behind the scenes, voice of God, telling us what to do.
Just the voice of truth, not voice of God. Just
Yeah.
voice of truth. Just lack of delusion and truth. Guys, thank you so much for joining us today. I know, it gets a little bit wild. Osama, we'll get you some food, 100%.
okay.
I know you're about to faint on us. Just don't beat me up. Mo, my brother, thank you. And
Thank
Coach,
you very
again,
much.
everything's because of you, so much appreciated.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, boys.
Thank you.